They huff and they puff, and they tell tales of common interest. Here's JR and Comic Book Man with media news. Hey, can we start calling them Huff and Puff? Because that would be cool. Here's Huff and Puff with media news. I like it.
All I wanted was a little cornbread. Media News, episode 152, to tickle a trombone.
Hey folks, how you doing? Comic Book Man here. Welcome once again to my video.
Why do you have to go through that?
Man, I'm glad I have a healthcare plan.
His bones are brittle as a bird.
I know.
And
I'm old.
This is Media News number 152, and it's coming to you from this place, Alternate Reality. And joining me today, as always, is
Old Broken Bones.
Old Broken Bones JR.
Hey, Comic Book Man.
Yes, JR.
Yeah,
Punching
I'm
bag
about
of
ready to
Ron
collapse now. I only
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah, I am.
Come on, get in there. Get in there. There you
have,
go.
oh, that was kind of titillating.
Did I hear your collarbone break?
Yeah, exactly. I don't get enough milk.
Our first story up here in Media News number 152
The Prestige
is
project that we always like to talk about.
Prestige.
the Prestige project of Steven Spielberg's.
Who?
Steven Spielberg.
Steven.
Steven
Steven
Spielberg's.
and his
Toy
brother
boat. Steven Spielberg's Lincoln.
Yes, the
Lincoln.
the biofilm about Abe Lincoln. The cast
Yes.
keeps fattening up.
The
We already
vampire
have
hunter?
Daniel Day-Lewis, one of our favorite
Oh,
actors
he'll
of
be
all
good.
time. Sally Field, who's fresh off of Aunt May.
Fresh off of Aunt May. Yeah. Fresh off of Aunt May where she looks like a bag lady.
Well, she'd be playing Mary Todd Lincoln. so-
Crazy bag lady. There you go.
Tommy Lee Jones
Yeah.
and Joseph Gordon-Levitt now added to the cast. Jackie Earle Haley, for those of you that remember Watchmen, he was
He was Rorschach.
that guy.
Rorschach.
Yeah. He will be playing Alexander Stevens, who was the vice president of the Confederacy during the Civil War. It's kind of one of those parts where,
Which you know, I'm sure everybody out there is saying, who?
yeah, well,
The vice president of the Confederacy during the Civil War.
he's known
Who?
for basically making a speech where he said that the
Yes.
the natural condition of blacks was to be slaves.
Oh, charming
So,
individual.
He is a charming individual. So Jackie Earle Haley, I'm sure there's probably going to be people who are going to give him heat for it. So
Yeah.
We won't be looking for any NAACP awards.
kudos to you, pal. But Spielberg.
But
has
it's when's the film coming out?
Spielberg has said it's not going to be a political football. He doesn't want the film to be a political football.
So it's coming out in 2012, but not.
It's coming out not in November or before November or even in November. It's going to come out in December, right around Christmas time.
So the elections will be over with, no matter who wins. The
Exactly.
elections will be over with, and then it'll come out.
Exactly. And the film takes place during Lincoln's last 4 months when all of the stuff kind of happened.
Now, is this gonna? Well, the
Civil War.
last 4 months, so it's not going to be like a battlefield movie. It's not going to be like.
He
it's-
says it won't be a
Now
battle.
we're going to cut away the Battle of Gettysburg for
Exactly.
half
Well,
an
So you
hour.
can totally flash back.
Well, there's going to be battlefield.
yeah, you could do that.
There'll be battlefield sequences in it, but Spielberg said it's not a battlefield movie.
Yeah.
So there you
Okay.
It's gonna be set in space.
go. Yes, Space Lincoln
Speaking of set in
in
space.
3D.
Speaking of
When he
set,
takes off that hat.
Stovepipe right in your mush.
Star Trek.
There'll
Star
be a
Trek.
promotion where they'll serve popcorn in a stovepipe hat. We could just keep going. It writes itself.
Sequel,
What?
sequel.
And Lincoln, of course, was in Star Trek, which is our next story.
I missed that part.
The
Oh,
third
he was, you're
season.
right.
The
Oh
third
my
season.
You're
Sitting in
brilliant.
the
You're a
chair.
brilliant man.
Hello,
Yes,
James.
You got the award for the best segue.
Lincoln's sitting in outer space in the chair, going, "Hello, James."
For that segue, you win a segue. Fantastic.
Our next story is Star Trek, and J.J.
Yeah,
Abrams
he's been waffling.
has finally gotten off his ass. Apparently,
He's been waffling. He's not directing. He is directing. He's not directing. Well, guess what? He is directing.
You're sure about that?
Yes, that's positive. I just spoke to him a moment ago.
Okay.
The script is going to be done sometime in the next month or two, and they plan to start shooting around the holidays. Still up in the air about the release date. They keep saying December of next year, but I don't see that happening if they're going to start shooting.
I can't see how they're going to get it out December of next year at this rate, unless
No.
they're set to go now.
So listen to us. It's going to be the summer after that.
Yeah,
That's
it's probably
what
going to be the summer.
Yeah.
Well, that would make more sense anyway.
I think so.
Summer
Yeah.
release.
Yeah.
You know, when the last film, the first film, what was released? Christmas or summer?
I think that was a Christmas release.
Was it?
I think so. Actually, that was one that got pushed off. They were originally going to release it in summer and then pushed it off to Christmas.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It'll follow the original movie pattern. Star Trek: The Motion Picture (TMP) for
The motionless picture.
for all the nerds out there. TMP was released at Christmas, and Wrath of Khan was released in the summer.
Summer. Yeah,
2
yeah,
years
you're
ago.
right. Following
That's
the
what
same.
happens when you're an old fart and you remember useless information like that.
We're a fount of useless information, aren't we?
Speaking of franchises, Bond 23
Yeah, we have a tidbit.
is actually moving along.
Yep, screenwriter John Logan is hinting heavily that the villain of the piece will be Blofeld. Blofeld, who's been played by who now? Max von
Lots of
Sydow, Telly
Telly
Savalas.
Savalas.
Who am I missing?
Donald Pleasance.
Donald Pleasance. There's
Pleasance.
probably somebody else in there too that I'm.
I
Probably.
played in Live and Let Die.
Yes.
You know, you'll
But
have-
anyway, they established in Quantum of Solace, there's this huge organization that's sort of evil and running
Spectre.
things. Well, they're called Quantum, but it's a Spectre-like organization. And we only saw middlemen in that film, never the main guy. So the rumor is that Blofeld is the main cat running Quantum.
Speaking of cats, is he going to have a cat? Is he going to be in a wheelchair?
Cigarette-
Is he going to be
cigarette
bald? we have,
Sure.
We have a big scar right here.
Absolutely.
Thank God. These are all the things we need to have a good Blofeld. But
I'm lying through. my
unlike
teeth.
Superman, are they going to take his pants off so we can...
Just the trunks.
Just those trunks.
James Bond will not have trunks.
No trunks on
No,
James Bond.
but a
or
really
Blofeld.
big cape.
Banana hammock.
The man hammock.
Wow.
Speaking of science fiction, because that's sort of what we were just talking about.
Sure. Oh yeah, I like this.
20th
story.
Century Fox has bought the film rights to an actual, factual science fiction novel. Not a popcorn science fiction,
we've-
but an actual hardcore science fiction, which is amazing. Because, one of the things that we've talked about before, since the advent of Star Wars, like 1,000 years ago, it seems, there's been very little actual science
Precious
fiction
little.
that's done. It's all
There's
junk.
a wealth of science fiction novels out there,
There is.
great ones that have yet to be mined for.
And of course, Isaac
TV or
Asimov is a huge gold
one of
mine
the
for this
giants.
stuff, and nothing's ever been done with most of his stuff.
Well, finally, 1954's novel, The Caves of Steel, 20th Century Fox has gotten the rights to this.
Okay.
Looks like it's going to be directed by Henry Hobson. It's his first time as a director. He's actually known for being. He creates main title sequences. He's done Mad Men and a bunch of other TV shows. It's his first shot at directing.
Great.
Yeah, we'll see. But it's
Let's give the kid the project that we don't want to have to do in the first
Can
place.
we sit through a 2.5-hour title sequence?
Well, it may look like that.
It'd be like
but
the opening of the first Superman movie.
it's a detective. It's a detective and a robot
Yeah.
who looks like a human being, and they pair up to solve a mystery about other robots being kidnapped and destroyed. Fun stuff
Isn't
like
it
that.
like Alien Nation with robots?
Except without people with watermelony heads.
No, it's robots instead, but it's the same
maybe
thing.
a little bit. Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Sort of.
And when is it set?
In the 30th century.
1,000 years from now.
1,000 years from now.
Time in a legion of superheroes who are not in it, by the way.
where things will look incredibly
century.
different and apes will rule the planet.
Okay.
But Denny's breakfast will still be $4.95.
Denny's breakfast.
I can
And
still
they'll
get
still-
moons over
and
my
they'll
head.
still have
And
moons
it's
over Miami.
Moons over Miami, and it'll still give you the runs 3 hours later.
Wow.
And that's it.
a
We're
lot of
done. We're finished. We're out of here. We got no more media news, but
But we got the runs.
well, that's why we're wrapping
Sorry.
it up. That's why we're wrapping it up. But you go to the store's website, check out all the media notes that Bocephus sends me that
That
I
guy.
post up there. And JR,
Yeah.
where's the store's website?
I couldn't tell you because I don't know anything about the interwebs, but Sarah knows for sure.
www.myalternatereality.com. Forget what you've heard. It doesn't give you jello knees.
So go to the store's website and check
I
out
will.
all of the media news Bo sends that I post there. And until next time, this is Comic Book Man.
Evil
And
genius.
this is the person who's no longer going to use Facebook because it's stupid.
Facebook is stupid. There's just people's faces on there. With
Saying-
looks at faces.
Bye!
The Video Outhouse is brought to you by some of the finest people willing to work for free. This is a list of some of them.